Oh, thank you for reminding. Yeah, so, but anyway, it was great. And we'll go through it. We'll get there. Thank you so much.
Has anything happened that you can connect to the word symbol you were using last week?
Yes, last week I used the word consistency, and it was great because I put it in my mind that I will have to be consistent for what I'm doing, and I was. And I put my alarm in the morning, 6:30, and I did get up every single day because that was my words that I used. And getting up in the morning, do a little bit of the networking that I was doing. I just do it as a hobby. I'm not really into customers and selling and things like that. I just do it as a hobby, connecting to people and talking to my team as well. And having a shower, that the main thing was for me as soon as I get up. I do shower every day, but not as soon as I get up. But I needed to do that. So I think the word I chose last week I have put it into my life at the moment, and it's working great. Perfect. Yeah,
okay,
thank you so much.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Let's go to Magic.
Hi guys.
Hey, yeah.
So about my journey, last journey, my word was communication, and I think I just communicated or speak to people less, I think, than usually. So I was keeping more words to myself instead of telling them, or I knew that they wouldn't listen. Normally I will talk even if I knew someone is not listening, but in this week I was actually more relaxed. Like I wasn't resisting anything. I just didn't saw any point of speaking about my stuff, about myself. I was just listening, and that was I think, some kind of new experience with communication. So it wasn't only words. It was just like sitting with someone and just like enjoying the time, being quiet. So I saw it. I realized that communication is not only speaking to each other, it's also looking, touching, yes, and observing. So it was for me, it was very relaxing week from the perspective of interacting with other people, I think.
That's great, Magic. That sounds good. So two things that came to mind was the journey we did last week was the brain, where we were saying our words in different styles, and it's to get us to kind of look at the words in different ways, and that's exactly what you've done this week. You've looked at it in communicating in a silent way, and also communicating in different ways through touch. So that's really good, because that's the whole journey, is to get us to communicate in different ways, which you did. And in coaching, it's very famous. One of the greatest techniques, communicating techniques in coaching, is silence. That I'm not very good at usually. It's my weak point. But silence actually says a lot. It's one of the best ways of communicating. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. And because of this also, I had like more space and time to think before I react to someone, so I instead of just speaking what I wanted to say, I just react with kindness, with patience, so it was different than usually, I must say.
That's great. Yeah, because it gives you time to think of the right words to say. So it's very powerful. it's like my ex-wife, I remember, she's Chinese, and I would give my client a whole session. I'd be over there in Taiwan, and I'd give her like a 30-minute talk, like life coaching, advice and guidance. And then I would say to my wife, I said, do you want to say anything to the client? So she sat there and thought for a minute, and then she said like a sentence. And that one sentence, but the client would suddenly be crying or laughing with joy, saying, you got it. That's exactly what I needed to hear. And I used to get really irritated. I thought I've just spent 30 minutes really trying to give her lots and lots of different advice. And my ex-wife used to just come in and say exactly what she needed to hear, because she never, she's the person also who she listens more than she speaks, a lot more. So when she talks, it's normally worth listening to, because it's very powerful. So nice one there. Excellent. Really, really powerful experience. Michael, thank you, Magic.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
There wasn't too much going on in terms of actually being conscious around Frito techniques or Frito content consciously. But this morning when I woke up and I kind of gathered my thoughts around this morning and this Zoom call, there were a few very deep insights that I had. And interestingly enough, one of the insights was the word. And I don't want to go too much into detail because I mean, I shared a little bit with you about my project. And so just for you, there is this linear approach to transformational change, and then there is the unlinear approach to transformational change. And the unlinear approach is the power of our minds. It is the electromagnetic field of our hearts, but it is also the power of our words. And so to be really conscious around that, is a part that I want to bring forward. And I had an amazing week. Got a little bit of sun yesterday. I was out on a boat for a few hours, got a little bit of sunburn. And yeah, I got a lot of clarity on my journey. It seems to go deeper and deeper and deeper and bringing more and more clarity to it. And I'm not sure how deep it's actually going to go. But I'm just open to receiving whatever I need to receive.
Cool. What was your word that you worked with last week?
Journey.
Journey. Okay. Cool. Lovely. So you feel like you're moving, you're becoming more, I guess I'm going to use the word, but more of a master of your journey as you're going deeper and deeper into it. I guess it's opening up more.
Yeah, I don't think well, there's two things. There's my journey, and then there is a collective journey, if I want to call it that way. And so the two are kind of merging together, and I definitely felt an expansion over the last week, which feels amazing, actually. And so, yes, to answer the question.
That's great. Okay, thanks, Michael, for sharing. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm not going to add anything to that. That sounds really cool. How about Natalia? We've got Natalia here. Welcome.
Hello, hi everyone. I just kept silent because Michael was sharing an interesting story. So, you all, sorry, I'm a little late.
That's okay, not at all. So you missed last week. We were working with the brain, which was quite cool. But you did come the week before, I think, to the body.
Yes, yes.
Do you remember what words you were working with at all?
Can't remember now.
Nina might remember. Okay. So if there's one thing you want to try to remember every time you do a journey is the word, because that's actually the most important thing of the whole journey, because that's the symbol. That particular word you've chosen is the symbol you want to improve. So you want to stay really conscious with it. So I'd advise everyone just to remember the word if they can, because that's what they want to be working on. And also the reason, like so far, a couple of you have shared, I always say what's happened since the last session that's connected to your word, because then you can kind of review. Sometimes things happen and we forget, we don't really connect it to the words, and we don't connect it to maybe the session we did. But most importantly, we're not connecting it to the word. So every time we start to recognize more and more things that are happening in our life connected to the word, it becomes really clear. That word suddenly becomes more powerful and much more clear. So that's fine anyway. So maybe Natalia, you can just maybe share, if anything, one thing that sort of stands in your mind, whether it's good or bad, that's kind of happened since you last joined the journey with us.
Oh, well, if I was to guess my word, maybe that was chaos. But I've just been on a journey when I was organizing a lot of legal stuff recently, and working on my business and my boat and legalities and licenses and insurances, and it was taken away with this. But I'm learning to change attitudes towards, like within this process, I was learning to change my attitudes towards problems in general, like my imagination about them and the circumstances and outcomes and all that. So maybe that was a bit of a journey I took this time. Just getting the right approach towards the problems, and if I can't fix something, I just move on to something else and try to fix something else, and that worked.
Okay.
It was a bit of a hectic journey for me, so it was kind of difficult to keep track of what is it that I'm actually going through. But I think that would be just organizing and changing attitude towards problems and problem solving, and taking things into my hands. So that was what the journey I've been through in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, that's cool. And we did work on when you were last with us, you worked on the body journey,
Yes.
which was really trying to have more clarity and being able to see the big picture, like the whole story with all the different parts, but you can see kind of the whole story. So that was that journey. So maybe that's good, because it's suddenly you're starting to piece together the bits, the puzzle pieces of your life, of your journey that's going on. And it's very easy to get lost, in one of those pieces. But the journey we practiced in the body was to, when it's to practice the ability of being able to see all of it, even not being only stuck on one part. So even though you're working on, like when I cut hair, I might be working on this bit here, but actually I know the whole hair, I can see the whole haircut. Even though I'm concentrating on that area, I know I can see the whole haircut, because I need to cut that in relation to the whole haircut. So the angle I use, and it's the same in life. When we're working on something like a detail, we need to be seeing how it fits in with all the other parts, because that will really help how we navigate and how we design and how we kind of handle that particular part. because there'll be conditions, you know, related to the whole picture. How you deal with each part will be related to the whole picture. Instead of wasting a lot of time and energy being too trapped in the part and not seeing how it connects to the whole picture. And then you end up creating a puzzle piece that doesn't fit in so nicely to the big picture. So it's really, like you said, you're working on different parts of your puzzle, and it feels like, to me, you're getting a bit more clarity. That's what it feels like.
You know what, it very much, sorry to interrupt you, but it really is like it, because at the same time, I'm, you know, finishing the treatment for my leg and I won't be able to return to work. So I started getting team and like hiring and handing over some of the things that I can't do right now. So I'm like changing the structure of it, like, and also I've been working on the book and I'm trying, like, I'm getting like the big picture of it right now out of small puzzles.
Yeah.
So it relates quite well to what you're saying.
Yeah, that's really important. And I know in marketing, or when I used to do like hairdressing shows or different things, when I was putting a project together, the main subject would be here in the middle, and that'd be whatever I'm focusing on. So this could be your whole life, for example, or it could be a singular project. And then everything that I did, you know, around it, I had to keep on focusing, seeing how it all fits together. And not just how it all fits together, these pieces, but how it all fits together with the center, which could be my life, it could be a project. And that's powerful, really powerful technique. Yeah, so we developed that in that session, but we don't want to have to write it on paper. We want to have it in our brain, like naturally, like a leader, a really good leader has that already. That's one of the abilities they've got. That's why they're a great leader, because they can see so many different parts of the puzzle. And you think, how do they run that business so well? There's so many different elements to it, but they've got the ability to see it all. And everything that they do, they're not wasting time doing it wrong, or doing it not so much wrong, but not so that it aligns with everything else. And it makes sense anyway, of course. But yeah, well done, Natalia. That was nice. I'll have to try and remember your words, because that'd be really interesting to see the word as well. So I don't know. I think Tiffany's offline. She'll come on when she gets home. She's here. She's listening to us. So you can say rude things about her if you want. She can't respond right now. So that's fun. But we'd never do that. So we'll wait till she comes back and can speak to us. So Nadine, have you got anything you'd like to share over the last week about your word?
Yeah, my word was communication. And in the beginning, I thought there wasn't a lot going on, because we worked on, like, we created new retreats. So I did a lot for the training page. And so I thought there wasn't too much communication, but then I was actually, that's not quite right, because then I was thinking I want to do another training, and I made 2 calls to the people. So, and I don't like to be on the phone too much. So that was a bit not challenging, but yeah, still a bit not so pleasant. So I had these 2 phone calls. Then, yeah, last week there was this, but the thing with Kirsty. And so I also talked to Kirsty. So that was quite nice. I just shared my opinion, that was my learning last time, that I just want to share my opinion, no matter what the other people, they can take it on or not. So I just shared my opinion. Then I remember you told me last week that my communication style changed. I'm quite aggressive now, which is like, I was like, oh wow, that doesn't sound very nice. But on the other hand, it's like, if I feel a bit angry or whatever in that moment, it's good to communicate it that way. So I thought that's actually quite positive. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks, Nadine. Yeah, and I got the brunt of her new communication style. That's why I look so stressed. It's like I've created a monster. Yeah, Nadine's been much more assertive and kind of, you know, aggressive. I wouldn't say aggressive, but for her it is. Just much more assertive. And it's been an interesting observation watching her, because she's been, yeah, amazing. Your communication has been quite dramatic over the last week, and it's been compared to the last year and a half that I've known you. So it's been amazing. And you're kind of confronting things that you wouldn't normally confront or bother with, or say things because you think it might, I don't know, how it might come across. So that's really good. I'm really impressed. We'll have to pick a really nice word for you this week. Kind, sweet, lovely to Gary. Well, that's 3 words. Okay, that's cool. So there's been some good stuff happening. So let's continue with the journey today. It's
Gary, what was your word for last week?
Well, I didn't use one in the session because I can't do that.
Okay.
Because when I've done that in the past, I get mixed up in the sessions, and I lose myself from facilitating to participating, and yeah, it doesn't work so well for me. But I can't remember what word I've been working with this. I'm always working with stuff. I've been working with some healing this week. Oh yeah, so I've been working with healing 1 day or 2 days this week, and I don't mind. Nadine won't mind if I share, I guess, but I was doing a nice healing yesterday, and I was having some healing realizations, and Nadine had like a pain in her finger and a bit of pain somewhere else. And I thought, oh, I'll try that idea on her. And it kind of worked like really effectively. So that was quite nice. It's always nice to, that's what I'm saying. It's always nice to consciously work on one word and then practice with it and then see it actually working. Because when we actually witness it and observe it working, it makes a huge difference. It kind of validates it in our body. It's like we know, we become confident that it's like riding a bike. Once we got it, we've got it. But while we're practicing, we haven't quite got it always. So that was really good learning for me. It's like, keep on being conscious, working with the words and practicing with those words any way we can in our life, demonstrating them. And it doesn't matter if they don't work. You know, the point is we fall off the bike many times, you know, before we get the grip to get to grips with it. So it's just a matter of keep practicing. In my experience, we get there. We do get there. You know, lots of things have changed in my life by working consciously with these kind of symbols. And yeah, there's a lot to learn. My word. Oh, it was healing as well. Okay, cool. That's funny, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. And healing, we all know, is an interesting journey. So as we know, when we take a healing medicine or go on a healing journey, it's quite well known that we'll have a what do they call it? Like what is it? Get worse before we get better. And there is a word, it's in healing, they call it something, I can't remember what it is now. Crisis, a healing crisis. Yeah, so we always go through this healing crisis often, you know, when we're actually healing. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. So it's always something worth remembering when we're developing with something, whether it's healing or whatever it is we want to improve. Sometimes if we want to improve with money, I've had experiences in the past because I've worked with money quite a lot. And sometimes it's amazing. It's like, wow, you know, I had a new idea about money and the next day I put that idea into practice, or something happened and I recognized, oh, that's something interesting. It's showing me something new or something kind of I was learning. And it's amazing. The money comes in. And then another time I do it and I lose a load of money. And it's like, it's quite interesting, you know, like when we're playing with the symbols, they can have good or bad results. And that was a great learning, because when I lost originally, when I was losing the money, for example, I was thinking, oh, it's not working. You know, my symbol's not working, but it is, because I need to learn about that loss. There's something in that loss that I need to learn. And I maybe didn't learn it before in my life. So it's bringing it back to my attention so I can learn something from it. And it could be as simple as it could be something mentally learning, like, oh yeah, like that makes sense to me. And I get a new insight, like a mental insight. Or it could be a physical learning. It could be an emotional learning where we just need to go through the process emotionally or with sensations in the body. And that's the way the body's now learnt about that loss, where maybe when in the past, I never allowed my body to actually process that feeling because I didn't like it. Maybe I didn't like that feeling of loss. So I thought, oh, I've got to make money back or I've got to do something else. So this is really amazing when we're working consciously with the symbols, the words. It's like, just observe. If it's good or bad, it's a good thing. Even if it's a bad thing, it's like, well, I've hit something because I've been consciously working on it and it's brought it up. So yeah, so that's really good learning for me. Thanks for asking. So this week's training is the third card of Frido. And it's this one. Well, it's not in color. Well, it should be in color. Maybe I should put this in color. Well, anyway, no, we'll stick with it in black and white because there'll be a reason for it. Out of all the cards that should be in color, this should be the one, because this is actually the art therapy. We did an art therapy in the body card where we drew our word. And this is the second art therapy process in Frido. There's only 2 art therapy processes, and this is the second one. And they both belong to the body family. So it's the body and the heart, which are both art therapy. And the reason why this is an art therapy, which is even greater than the body art therapy in many ways, because this actually focuses much more on the right side of the brain. The body focuses on both sides, like all of it. That's why when we did the brain journey last week, the brain is more left side. So it's more using words. That's it, Michael, very good. 10 out of 10. We'll give you a gold. I'm just going to give you a gold star here. Hang on. No, that's very good. I'm not actually joking. I reward my best students always. So no, I appreciate that. So yeah, the brain one focused on more words, in a creative way. The heart is focused on more image, the right side of the brain, in a creative way. Whereas the body symbol that we worked on uses both. That's why we drew the word. So we've got the image and the word in one, just to explain that to you. So in this particular one, we're going into the right side of our brain, big time, because normally I would say leaders generally have, well, both abilities actually. Really great leaders in this world have a bit of both ability. They have the left and the right brain. They've got the vision. They can see the big picture, but also they know kind of how to do it. Although some extreme people, maybe someone like, I don't know, I'm thinking people like, I'm guessing, but like Ronald Reagan or certain presidents, they had maybe a vision, but they didn't have the left brain to put it into practice and do all the right things and make the laws. And so, but these 2 skills are really powerful to have. And this is more focusing on the right side. So we'll just go round and maybe just share for a moment, if you can. If you don't want to, that's fine, you can pass. What you see in the card, so we can start becoming more familiar with it. We'll start off with Michael.
What do I see? I see the key again wrapped around the arm, the hand. I see the symbols. I see mountains. I see planets. I see road signs. I see fire. That's all I see right now.
Okay, cool. I like that, Mike. I like the way you put the card up there. I don't want to even try and do that because I'll bodge the Zoom call up somehow. But that's really cool. Okay, who's next? How about Magic? You want to have a little share what you see in that symbol?
Yeah, so for me at first, when I saw this, that the hand is holding like a glass ball, you know, like this magic ball, which you can see through and predict the future or see the past, maybe. Yeah, so that was my first impression, and so this is gives me this feeling that this is something what was or it will be, and I see colors which are different than in previous image, but still the mountain is there, but it's the same side of the mountain like was on the body card, I think, because the sign is there, the tunnel is on the same side, but it looks much greener. So something's definitely is different. Something's changed, and obviously 3 months, which are quite unusual. So it's like a different space, different time, different word. And on the hand, still there are symbols and the key is there. The triangle, which is on the top of the card, it's different color. So for me, this is like Frido is holding some kind of answer or image in his hand.
Yeah, very nice. Nice sharing. So just to add it on to Magic, what you said, exactly. It's like it's the same as the body card with a couple of differences. Like you said, this has got color, it's got more vibrancy, it's got 3 moons. It's like something not of this world. It's like, it looks like the same, but it's definitely not the same. But it looks very similar. It's almost like a twin world, a twin universe. And the hand that Frido's holding this world, well, Frido's you, isn't it? Frido's you. You know, you're holding this universe in your own hand, and this is your dream. You actually this is a dream. The other one in the body wasn't necessarily, it was the reality maybe at that time, but now you're making it that old reality into a dream, and the dream looks very similar, but it's not. Everything's a little bit different. Everything tastes a little bit better, not just a little bit, but you know, that little bit really tastes a lot better. And when you see see the colors look a little bit more vibrant, and again, when all the colors are looking a little bit more vibrant, the whole place is looking incredible. You know, it only takes a little change of everything to look amazing. That's the difference. There's the little changes in everything. So that's really powerful. And I always say to people in the coaching as well, focus on the small, tiny things of change. Tiny. You know, we're in a world where we want big change so much, we lose sight and we've invalidated the tiniest of changes. And we all know everything grows from the tiniest seeds. You know, the tiniest seeds we're planting. And a lot of people have lost that understanding and they miss it. And therefore they don't ever manifest anything much because they're trying to do too big. Even if it doesn't look big, you know, there's too much. Start validating the tiny things that's happening. And also, if we don't validate the tiny things, they're not going to grow. It's like if you don't water the seed, it's not going to grow. So we have to keep on watering the seeds that we're planting every day. Every single thing we're planting throughout our life since we were born, we need to validate and we need to water and we need to keep on saying, yeah, that was maybe I don't remember many of the seeds I planted, but I know I planted a hell of a lot to create the life I've got. you know, I planted millions and billions and billions. So it's about acknowledging all them every day. It's like, how was my day today? I did like millions and millions of things today, planted little tiny seeds. You know, I breathed today, even if we're not aware of it. Every time I'm breathing, I'm sort of creating some kind of more life. So I think it's just putting more attention on the tiny things in our life. And I can see a tiny person's come into your space, Magic.
Mm. Yes,
Did-
she's ready to go to bed now.
Oh, did she want to say anything?
Let me see. Ariana, do you want to say anything? No? Okay.
That's very nice. I like her hair. Love beautiful hair. What's her name, Magic?
Ariana?
Ariana, beautiful. And also Magic is Polish. We've got two Polish people here today. I think, did you know that,
yeah.
Natalia? Oh, you knew it already. Okay, I wasn't sure. Two Polish, two German,
Siema,
and the rest of us odd ones.
I lost the image somehow.
So anyway, that's very nice, Magic. Nice details on there. So let's go to Nina. Have you got anything to add to what's been said now about that card?
For me, I think it's the same as Magic said. When I look at the cards, it was like I'm holding that magic globe, like we go and the people who see our future. That's what you call a globe or whatever it's called. And it's like, yeah, I think this card has lots of meanings for me because it's the same like I'm holding that globe and looking at my life there, and I can see lots of opportunities. Like there is it's the same like the mountain with the steps there and the tunnel there. And for me, like them three circle up there, I didn't think, like for me, I believe it was like a bubble, because sometimes we say we live in a bubble. So there's three different bubble, which is different things that I normally think in my life. And it's like there's lots of emotion there for me, especially with the red surrounding. It's kind of like an auras, and normally I see it as red. The red auras, which is very, very, like we say, fiery, passionate as well. And it's very intense. And the key is in my hand here. I'm holding the key, but I don't know which way to go. Same like as we did at the body journey as well, which way to go, which one is the wiser. So, and like I'm also looking at the tree circle there. It's like the bubble that I'm living in. And yeah, the key is there. So maybe along this journey, I'll be able to open the treasure with the key. So that's what I see there. And again, like the top triangle, which is black, maybe it's a different meaning. And I know this card is a sister, and it's a heart card, which is have lots of emotions in there. And the red triangle down means like it's the same family we are working with. So that's for me. Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Beautiful, very nice. It's the brother, actually. The heart's the brother. The brain was the sister, but it's easy mistake to make because often we relate them opposite. People often say the female is the heart, but in Frido, it's different. So, so Natalia, anything to add to what you've already heard?
Yeah, well, I actually kind of take a bigger picture of the three cards all together. Because when I've seen this card a few times, and there's a lot of things to say, and I don't want to repeat it, but something that struck me this time is the key very much. Because that card is the key. The bubble, what is in the bubble is something that mind can create, but if you put your heart into it, it's not an option anymore, and it becomes a reality of some sort. So it embodies the thought. And I just saw this card as a completion of the journey in order to create the body, to embody whatever is just on the beginning maybe a thought, to manifest something. So that key like really struck me this way in this card.
That's beautiful. So yeah, that feels nice. So just responding with that information in Frido, yeah, for me, it is about, yeah, bringing an idea, bringing thoughts, bringing our dreams to life. And that's what we're bringing it to life. This is the dream card in Frido, in fact. And when it says the heart, it's talking about the physical heart that's in our body. Where in Frido, the symbols of our dreams, that's where they are. That's where our nightmares are as well in Frido. So it's not just our good dreams, it's our bad dreams. But that big vision, you know, is right in here in the heart. And quite rightly said, it's about this particular process. This card helps us bring that dream into reality. It starts to bring it into reality. It doesn't actually bring it into the reality, but it's a step into the reality. It's the key that will open the door to the next step where we can actually put it in the reality. So we begin with this process by beginning that journey of bringing our feelings and dreams inside our hearts, out of our heart and into our actual reality through the art therapy, through looking at that dream and giving it a real body and giving it meaning, and so we can understand it. So we've got something. If we can't really understand what it is inside our heart, we can't communicate to it. And it's like staring at, I don't know, something we don't recognize. We don't even know it's there. We've got a sense of something there, or we might start to recognize it over time and say, okay, I can feel that's my dream. But because we don't know it that well, it's stuck there. We can't communicate to it to come out because we don't know how to. So that's that's what we do in this particular heart process through this art therapy, which is amazing. And it also stimulates and exercises the right part of our brain, which is the more creative side, where we can start to be more creative naturally, because being creative is amazing. You know, we can sort out all kinds of problems with a creative mind. We can find solutions. We can work out how to make our dreams come true through a creative mind, not through an uncreative mind. We can only do that by a creative mind. So this is really great for stimulating our creativity. And eventually, like, we can become so creative and we can come up with so many amazing ideas and dreams. And some of us are good at doing that already, and some of us are not as good, but we can always improve all the time. So imagine if you're in the situation where you can just see everything, see the big picture of everything. You can see there's a million different ways you could play this. You could journey, and you know every single one of them. It's like, how much power does that give you, knowing every single possible path you could take in every single moment of your life, not just, you know, when you've got a problem, but any time. You can see a million different paths, all of them, and it's like, and you know exactly which way that's going to take you. And that's this ultimate master of this dream card, in fact, because it's already out there. It's already all out there. The dreams are already out there. We're just using this process to learn how to access them. So that's really cool. I think Nadine, do you want to add anything to what's been said?
Can I add something to it?
Sure. So we'll come back, Nadine, in one moment.
Yeah.
So Michael, go ahead.
To me, it's almost like the action of having, you have to have unlocked your heart in order to hold your dream. So the key hanging around the wrist is almost that process of unlocking it has already happened, and now you're holding your vision in your hand. you're holding that dream in your hand. I think the key was part of all the other two pictures, but it was always inside the sphere, and now it's outside the sphere. I'm not sure whether I'm correct or not, but
Well, in Frido, of course, you're always correct.
all
If you-
right. Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that.
If you decide, if you think you're wrong, then you're wrong. If you say you're right, then you're right. Because that's your universe you're talking from right now, and everything's true for you in your own universe. If I disagree with it, that's my universe. That's my problem. That's not your truth, unless you make it your truth. And that's where we get tricked in life a lot, because we listen to other things from other people and other things, and we just think that's the truth because they've convinced us. So we kind of bought into it, but actually it might not be. But we've agreed on it. We've made it our truth. We might think it's someone else's, but we've actually made it our truth. So that's a very good point. And also, like you said, we're yes, that's right. This exercise we do with this card is by drawing a symbol of your dream. You've now unlocked the dream. So now you have it in your hand, quite rightly. So what you said, Michael, by doing the exercise, by putting a drawing on a piece of paper of your dream, you've done the first step. You've opened your dream, and now you've got an actual physical piece of paper with your symbol on it. And actually, a lot of your energy has gone into it when you draw. So your loads of energy has gone into it. Loads of subconscious thoughts have gone into it. So you've really come a step closer to making it into the next level of reality. This is one level of reality, and the next one is it actually happening in your life. So thank you, Nadine.
Yes, actually, almost everything is said what I also see, but yeah, it's like Michael said, I also think it's like you unlocked your heart, and now you present your dream universe in your hands, and also like the crystal ball, where you see your future. And maybe, I don't know if somebody said the number 1 on the bottom is like, for me, it's like unity or oneness or God. So you are the creator of your own universe, let's say. And also like the red color on the triangle on the bottom is like, if I see it from the chakras, it's the root chakra. So it's all like about creation, I would say. Yeah, that's the only thing I can add.
Lovely, perfect, amazing. So that's really powerful. So by drawing or visualizing, I say, this is a visualizing journey. So it's about visualizing. You can sometimes do it in your brain. Eventually, you can just do it in your brain, just like dreaming. It's like when you're in a lucid dream, you can see everything. How amazing is that? You can just see everything. But sometimes we draw it instead. So if we haven't got the ability to just see it in our head like that clearly, then we draw it first of all. And that practice gives us the ability to be able to see it eventually without having to draw it. So we've already got it very clear in our head, and then we've got it. And then all we got to do is then put it into practice, into the real life. So this is great. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next stage. So we do the journey now. So the actual journey. So this is what you guys, we're in the process that you can print these out. We did send this on a template just before, but we're going to start getting a bit more organized because this is a bit of a pilot group still. So we're making a lot of changes as we're going through. So eventually you'll have it all in order and you can go through it again as much as you want. But these are the templates that I use when I facilitate the Frido journey. So there's 25 templates and they all look very similar. They've got a similar thing on the front, but the card is different. And obviously the meaning's different. And on the other side is the actual exercises that we do. So they're all exactly the same format. So it's very easy. And when you do your tests online, when you decide to do them, you can do them anytime, it doesn't matter, they're not going anywhere. You will see we've given you training information where you can learn to do the tests. And I've designed it in a way that they look exactly the same, but I've added in green writing, and I put training information so you can't miss it. I've put it under each section here, all the way through these templates. So you've got more information, just like I'm talking to you now about every stage of the process. You've got it all there, and the answers are all in there to answer the tests. And I know Nina has passed them all already. She's very clever. Well, I'm not very clever at giving the questions. One or the other, not sure. But no, she's very clever. So she's been doing them all. And they're good fun to answer as well. And they're designed just to get the information stuck in our heads, that's all. You can take them as many times as you want. You can't fail. You just keep on doing it until you get 100%. And that just shows you you've done the learning you need to learn. So it's kind of, that's really cool. So these templates I'll be given to you as well online. Eventually, over the next week or so, we will have a link that you can go on to where you can access everything. The cards, if you want to print them out, the journeys, the information, the tests, the video Zoom, also the journey on FreePlay that I actually take people through the journey, because that's really useful. And you can be a participant then and go through the journey yourself. That'll all be there logged. So it's really a good library where you can go and access everything. So this card, at the top of the card, we've got the word inspiration. Every card has an ability, what I call an ability associated to it. It helps develop one key ability. And in this card, it's about inspiration. That's the ability it creates, because our dreams are designed to inspire us. There's many times in my life where I've felt a bit down or lost or demotivated, uninspired. And I remember my dream. It comes back to me in those moments. I think this is why I'm going through all this, because it was the dream I originally had that set me out on this journey. And I've forgotten about it for a while. I forgot why I'm on this journey. So I remind myself, that's the dream. And suddenly I get re-inspired again. And inspiration is amazing because it can pick you up when you're the lowest point ever in your life. If you can just find some inspiration, find that dream to inspire you, even a little bit, you'll feel a bit of inspiration. And that's kind of like a fire. Without inspiration, we are like a car without a starter motor, without a key. It's like nothing. It's a great car, but it's not going to, it needs firing up in order for it to move. So, you know we've got the ability, like Nina, a year ago, you already had the ability that you've got today. You could have done it a year ago or a year and a half ago, but you needed the inspiration to get you moving. And that's like many of us. And the inspiration is so powerful. We need that just to spark. It gives us the spark that gets us going. And if we lose it, if we're not motivated, always go back to the inspiration first. Am I inspired, first of all? Do I feel inspired before I start trying to get motivated to do something? Does it inspire me? Because they're two different words, motivation and inspire. Motivation is more doing. It's actually motivated to go and do it. But inspiring kicks off the motivation. It sparks the motivation. So that's really important. Like the car is your motivation and the key or the starter motor is your inspiration. You need that to fire up your motivation. So that's what this card's all about. And it's the most incredible ability. It's one of my strongest abilities. It has been for many years. I find it very easy to inspire myself. You know, since I was 15, I would say, or younger, 10, I found it very easy to inspire myself. I inspired myself to make money at 10 years old, washing cars in the neighborhood. I inspired myself to get more little jobs when I was 12 and 13 to make money. You know, I got inspired about famous hairdressers. You know, when I left school, they became really successful from nothing. You know, Vidal Sassoon, and that inspired me to go for my dream. So really the inspiration has always been something I just love. And it's lovely. It's a lovely energy just to feel inspired. I think the problem sometimes people have is they don't go further. They just stay every day. They're inspired about something else, which is lovely. But it's not very good if we're not putting it into something and creating something from that inspiration. You know, if we're just sitting here feeling inspired all the time, it's crazy. You know, it's like just watching Netflix and enjoying every film and spending our life just watching Netflix, thinking that's a good film, that's a good film, that's a good film, and not actually going outside the door or actually making the film into our reality rather than just watching it. So it's like the film inspires us, our dream inspires us, and then we go out and do it. So, but we've got to get that inspiration nice and juicy and powerful and clear. So as an example of this one, so here we go. I'll read through it a little bit. So we've got the usual things at the top of the page, which I'm not going to go through every session. We'll get to it eventually, otherwise it'd be boring. So we've got the usual, we choose our word. So choose your word anyway, just so you can use it for today's training. And try and remember it for next week. Nina, you remember everyone's, please. So what word? And Ariella, she can have a word if she wants as well. What word? What's the word you want to, what you love, your favorite word that you want more of? More money, more ice cream, more fun, more peace. Have a little think about what you want. One word that you would love more. I want more of that word in my life. More clarity, more confidence.
To say it. What do you want? You said toys.
More toys.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one. More toys. Daddy doesn't look so comfortable with that.
Yes, we have actually a lot of toys now. So.
No, not enough. Never enough toys. I don't believe it. When I come to Koh Phangan, Ariel, I'll buy you a toy. Because Daddy's not buying you enough toys, obviously.
I want more slime.
Slime. Yeah, apparently that's really cool, isn't it? Slime. Okay, so yeah, you can never have enough, can you? I mean, that's a really good example. That it's like we grow up in life being told we can't have that. You've already got one of those. You can't have more. You're not allowed to have more. Don't be greedy. I say be as greedy as you bloody well want. Have whatever you want, because why shouldn't you have exactly what you want in your life? It's like we're brainwashed to think we shouldn't be able to have everything. It's like, well, why not? If that's what you want. And you normally find anyway, when you have the power to have everything and even think you want everything, often you don't want that even. You know, sometimes it's just a process. It's like, I just want it. If I want it, I can. But more often than not, we don't actually want those things. You know, I want more sweets, but in fact, you know, if I can have all the sweets in the world, I probably wouldn't eat hardly any. So it's a very powerful energy just to say, have what, you know, you can have what you want. If you can have it, if my kids are saying, my little girl, my youngest, she used to drive me nuts. She used to make me buy her so much things. She used to drive me crazy. She wouldn't let me leave a shopping mall without dragging me through every shop. And she was the best con artist and manipulator in the world. And I always ended up buying her more stuff, always. And the other kids cursed me for it. They hate me today still for that. That was years ago. And but you know, I admired it in her. I admired that she wanted what she wanted. I sometimes said, look, you can want it, but you might not be able to get it. I haven't got the money, or, you know, get it yourself one day, earn your own money perhaps, but you can still want it. And I think that's a real shame to crush that energy of wanting, because that's the dream, isn't it? It's like, that's what crushes our dream. It's like, oh, I can't have that. I've always told I can't have that. I can only have that. Well, that isn't my dream. You know, so you can take that and shove it wherever, where the sun don't shine. It's like, I want that. All right, baby, if you want it, get it. If you can get it, get it. Absolutely, 100%. And it gives you permission also to say, well, I also want that as well, or that. So very powerful. Never take that away from anyone. That's my opinion. So inspiration. It kills our inspiration when we think we shouldn't have it or can't have it. Usually shouldn't. You know, I remember my little one, she wanted more ice cream. I said, have as much as you like, because I gave them all like £10 to spend one day in the park, and she wanted ice cream. So I said, if you want it, you got the money. So she stuffed her face with ice cream and then was sick. She's never ever had ice cream since. It's like, yeah. So anyway, so the heart, so I'm going to read that out. So the heart holds the power of our dreams and nightmares. Let's not think dreams are only good. They can be bad. That's why we need to know that, so we can manipulate our dream and create the dream that we want. So, and also when we're working on negative things, like you might pick a word today that's negative. It's not all positive. You know, dreams don't have to be positive words. They can be negative. It could be anger. It could be, whatever, upset, sadness, pain. And when we put that into a dream, we're going to change it, because we're going to make it the dream of pain, the dream of fear. We've never thought about that. So we're thinking, how do you do that, Gary? How can we make that a dream? That's the point. We can change it. We can make fear into the most incredible, amazing thing. Imagine making fear into this dragon that belongs to you. That's the difference. It belongs to you. You've created it. That's my symbol of fear. It's my dragon. Don't mess with me, because I will set my fear onto you. You know, this kind of thing. And I'll use my fear to get me moving, because I'm a bit lazy this morning. Oh, I'll use my dragon to kind of get me up, because it will. So this is amazing. So this is great. So when we don't, we don't manifest our dreams when we don't see through the limits of possibility. This card is all about breaking limits. Not we can't, never, 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 we can't. Always that we can. And we want to think the impossible in this card. This is the impossible. To get inspiration, we need to go well out of our normal reality of what's possible. So the heart, some say, I'm going to read it, is the master of the body, the house of love, passion and desire to reach for the moon. These energies in our heart can turn the impossible into I'm possible. Everything's possible. It keeps the dreams we have of a magical life alive. We have dreams when we're young and innocent, often being destroyed through our life and losing belief in them. People saying that our dreams are not real, being told to stop daydreaming at school, or that we're just chasing a dream. Deep down, we know the power that's in our heart. When we block our heart, we can feel it hurting. Every manifestation in life starts with an idea, a concept, thoughts, images, and of course, dreams. Another important thing about dreaming is that it helps to break limiting beliefs. When we dream big, we allow all limits to fade away. We may not ever reach our dream, but we'll reach a lot further than we would without it. So just have a think about that. That's the purpose of the dream. Not whether we get to the dream, it's to inspire us to go further than we ever thought possible. Inside my heart, I see the magical life I've always dreamed of. That's the Frida affirmation for this one. Inside my heart, I see the magical life I have always dreamed of. It's right inside our heart right now. Have a think about that. Have a feel into your heart and just kind of, it's there. You know it's there. It's always been there. All your dreams are always there. We just got to look inside and have a look. So the guidance of this card is start dreaming again, but dream bigger, bigger than ever. Allow your dreams to expand without limits. Visualize how you want your dream to look in all its glory. Go crazy, go wild, go out of this world. Think the impossible, the unimaginable, the extraordinary. Bringing your dream to life through your mind and feeling it in your body. So that's important, through your mind, but also feeling it inside your body, that dream. We might be able to think of a dream or visualize it. We've also got to feel it to make it come into the reality. So that's very beautiful. This is amazing, this card. And then on the other side, so that's kind of described all that. On the other side is the exercises. So we go through the process now. The first exercise is the mind exercise, because as you know in Frido, there's always a mind exercise, followed by a body exercise, followed by a ritual. There's always the same three. So this is the mind one. It's called mind dreaming. And this is the one where we create a beautiful symbol of our word, but not the word, but an image. When we did the body art therapy, we designed the word, but this is the image. It's like Nike, it's called Nike, and then it has the tick. The tick would be going in here. It's the image you create for your word. And what you're doing is you're making it into the most amazing symbol. When businesses create these symbols like ticks or whatever, and religions create these symbols, religions, they've got all these symbols. And magic has a lot of symbols, black magic and white magic. It's all symbolic. Mathematics has symbols and they're powerful, right? Mathematical symbols are super powerful, and scientific symbols. So symbols are super powerful. There's lots of reasons behind that, and go and study some symbolism and stuff like this. Some of you may already know, but the most what happens is, in my experience, is a symbol is so powerful. Why is a cross powerful? In many different ways. It could be negative for somebody. You know, if I'm Jewish and I see a cross, it might respond negatively. You know, it's like, oh, you know, whatever. But for people who are kind of believe in Jesus, it's like as soon as they see that cross, whoa, it's got so much meaning to them. That's what gives it the power. It's only a cross. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Why can someone feel so much power through just an object or a symbol? It's because of the meaning they've placed on it. It's not to say it's true for anyone else, but it's true for them. So somebody who's scared, they can hold their symbol, whatever it is, whether it's a Jewish symbol, a magic symbol, whatever symbol, a McDonald's symbol, if they like, and they will feel it. It's like, wow, I feel better now. Or they'll look at it. It's like when I look at, I bet magic, when you're feeling ever sad, if I showed you a picture of your little girl, you would change how you feel instantly. I bet you wouldn't feel sad anymore. I mean, you might do. All the money you've spent on her. It's like, don't remind me. But, you know, if I ever feel really sad, I might just have a little picture of one of my kids, and it's like, oh, all my troubles have melted away. They're so lovely. I love them. And it's like, that's a symbol. Think about it. Just a picture of my child can change my mood completely. A picture. Why? Because it's got meaning, that picture to me. That gives me a lot of good memories, gives me power. You know, if I'm feeling a bit scared in my life, maybe I need to do something, you know, make a challenge. And I look at one of my kids, it gives me courage, because I'll do anything for them. And it reminds me, I can do this. So symbols are so powerful because they've got such meaning. I mean, in fact, everything's a symbol. A tree to some people can have the same meaning as a cross for a Christian, or whatever, you know, McDonald's to a chubby person. But it's like, so symbols already exist in our universe. And this is where Frido goes a bit crazy, because it's like some symbols that have been created, like, for example, like, let's say, like, trying to think now, like pain, for example. Most people will have pain, they don't like it. There's other things like, okay, here's a good one. Like years ago, we would probably mostly agree that fire will burn our skin. So this is quite a good one, because that's what most people would have agreed maybe at one point, until we start seeing people walking over hot coals. It's like a new thing. Well, it's been around a while now, but before that, you would agree your skin would burn in fire. And now you've seen something different. because somebody, some point, decided, no, hot cold doesn't mean burnt skin to me. It means it's cool. It's not burning my skin at all. It's something else. And then he started practicing it and proving it to himself, and then teaching others. And before you know it, you've got a lot more big group of people now saying, nah, hot coals don't burn your skin. Because I've seen loads of people, I've done it myself. So we can change symbols as well, what their meaning are, but they're powerful. You know, there's some symbols we might all agree on. Maybe a lot or majority of people might agree on time or space or distance. But now we're getting more knowledgeable. Science is explaining actually there's no thing as time. It's a man-made thing. It sounds bizarre to people who don't understand this concept. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, but you know, science is saying it, saying that they were explaining to you there's no time and things like this. What about gravity? I would imagine most people agree on gravity. If I pushed you out of a high building, you'd fall on the floor, unless you were a bird. It's like birds don't have the same agreement. Gravity means something different to a bird. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Because if you dropped just a bird that's dead, it would fall down. But when it's alive, because science might say, yeah, but it's its dynamic body or its wings or something, but we've never been able to duplicate that apart from like an aeroplane. So they're more extreme symbols that are hard to argue. It's hard to argue with gravity. You would all say, yeah, but that's a real symbol. That's a real, everyone agrees that's true, or that's true. Other symbols are kind of more, you know, debatable. It's like we're saying, yeah, most people would agree on that, Gary, but not for me. I experienced something different with that, you know, this kind of thing. So the most powerful symbol is the one we own, that we own. Like, for example, the master of Reiki, he's probably been the only master ever. No one would be as good as him. Why? Because it's his bloody symbol. You know, of course they can't be, but someone could be just as equally masterful if they take his symbol and make their own. They get inspired by his symbol. They might make one that looks the same, but it's not, is it? It's not the same because he made his. You don't know what his energy went into his symbol. You don't exactly know every thought that went into his symbol when he made it, but you do know yours. So that makes yours more powerful. That's why you get really good Reiki masters, because they're not copying the old Reiki Grand Master symbol. They're not copying it. They're owning it. They've taken ownership. They've made their own copy, which has become now theirs. So although they've copied it, but they've realized it's not a copy. It's actually theirs. And that's what gives anything power. A religious person has power because that religious person has created a personal relationship to their God. So they've created their own symbol, their own meaning that's personal to them. That's why the congregation can't follow them. And the thing is, because the religious wise person is not aware that they've done that. They've done it over time. They think they're still copying Jesus's message, but they're not. They've created their own. They're saying it's Jesus's, but actually this is their own they've created. It looks the same, sounds the same, but it's not, it's theirs. Why isn't the congregation followed? Because they still think they're copying. So it's a bit of a funny one. We're copying something, but as soon as we copy it, we've got to realize it's not a copy, actually. It's similar, but this is our creation. So the power of a symbol is because we own it. We've created it. Even if we copy someone else's, that now belongs to us, that copy. Therefore, it's a new creation. So have a think about that. That's an interesting one to think about, that concept. So because we're creating new symbols now, like we're creating new symbols for our life, for everything. The old love that we had, the old relationships we had, we don't want the same ones, do we? So we want to create new ones. Most people don't ever create much new stuff in their life because they just go around in patterns using the old ones because they don't know how to make a new one. But we do. So it's like the only trappings is when we make a new one, it hasn't got a lot of power to begin with. It's like a baby. So we have to give it power by giving it more and more meaning. So when we draw our symbol, that's the beginning, and the word we've chosen we're beginning, we name our baby, we give it a body, we make it into how we want it to look, exactly how we want it to look for us and feel. So that's the beginning of creating our new symbol. So we can always create new symbols whenever we want to, unless we're happy with the symbol that we've got. And that's fine. Don't need to create a new one of those. So where were we? So yeah, so that's like, that's this one. So we want to create and practice. You don't have to be good at art, but you want to give it attention. If you're not very good with your right brain, like naturally, that's not your big ability, you won't like this exercise. You won't enjoy doing it. But if you've already used that part of your brain, you'll probably get into it. Like an artist will love this exercise because they love using that creative side of their brain with images and color, and they'll spend ages drawing this beautiful symbol. So what I would ask people to do in this journey is spend time, make it, because you're putting it into your symbol. It's like if you opened up a business, you wouldn't just write a name at the top and write some, draw some crappy looking symbol. It's like, what? It's like that, oh, that's Nina's business. It's like that symbol is representing everything about your, it's the first thing people see. You want that symbol to represent every single thing about your business. So with the word you're choosing, you want that symbol to represent everything possible about your word in the most amazing way. And that's powerful. And then you start activating it later in your life. You don't do it straight away. Once you've drawn it, that will start to activate it. You're bringing it into life. But then after that, in Frida, you've got practices where you can start to energize it more, make it more powerful, like an amulet or a talisman, like these power objects. This is more powerful because it's yours. Nothing more powerful than your own symbols, but you've got to make it powerful. Like a little baby, it's your baby, and now you've got to nurture it and make it strong. So it kind of then comes into your life. So first of all, any questions on what I've said about the mind dreaming part? Because that's the whole mind dreaming part. You don't have to, but if anyone's got any questions. No, we okay? Okay, I'm just checking in. So then what we do is we then explore, once we've drawn it, really amazing, powerful, we then explore it. And it's like a tarot card. Look, this is like a tarot card. I do tarot readings with these. I can do any tarot card reading with my Frido cards. There's slightly different symbols, but the same idea. There's a beginning, there's an end, there's a middle, there's certain things that appear. Every card in Frido is an element of every single journey that we do in our life, every single thing in life. A tree has every single symbol of Frido. It's a body. It has a heart, right? Everything has every single thing. It has resistance. It has a soul. Every card of Frido you'll find in every single thing in this universe. So we're learning about all those symbols that actually are in every single thing. And I call these universal symbols just because they're not the only symbols, but they're power symbols, I call them, because they've already got a lot of power to them. So then we start to explore it and activate it. So we can read it. Ask your symbol a question. So for example, just try and have a little visual what your symbol would look like in your mind. Have a little practice. It doesn't have to be, we're not doing a whole journey today. You can do that in your own time. I'm doing the training here. So go online, you do the journeys yourself and go through it all properly. But just try and have a visual, some kind of symbol. So Magic, what symbol would yours roughly be for your word?
So, so it's actually funny because it's similar to my daughter, but from looking from a different perspective. I was thinking about my word will be abundance. So, so I don't know yet how I can put this into art.
Just to give you an idea, just any symbol, just pop up with any symbol that you think, oh, I'll make that. whether it's a heart or whatever.
Yeah, it will be I think it will be like something which is turning, you know, like a circle of something which is happening constantly without ending.
Has it got a color?
Yeah, probably green.
Yeah, so a green circle, like some sort of spiral, or so it looks like it's moving or something, some
Yes.
sort of movement. Okay, so just as an example, so you've created that vision for abundance. What is that telling you? What information one thing that you can see from that that's connected to abundance for you?
That is, it's already there. It's accessible. It exists. Just I need to see it. Yeah, probably.
Right, okay, you need to see it. That's exactly. You need to see it. So that's nice. So it's already giving you some information, your symbol that you've created. So we're just playing a little bit here. Tiffany's come on. Hi, Tiff. So, yeah. So, okay. So, Nina, what's your word?
My word is love, and we're talking, I already did. That's mine.
Oh, very good. Okay. So I want you to ask a question about, to love, to your love symbol. What do you want to know? Give it one question to your dream love symbol.
Okay, for me, if you really see my hat, it has my son name in it, Nalin. And it's my son name in it. And for me, for my love symbol is like, I want to give my son more love because there's some issues going on with me here and my son.
Ask a question then.
So it's like, my question is like, will I be able to look at him as my son instead of the figure of his father?
Okay, so you've asked that question to your symbol, and what can you get from it? Has it got any clues in there? Look for a clue. What's a clue?
I think I have to work more on him being I think I don't know, I have to work on myself, not to look at him as his father, but to look at him as my son. Because I think I have to work on this one, and I have to ask myself, will I be able to I think in a way for me to be able to do that is like to forgive and forget his father, for me to be able to move on loving him, because he reminds me a lot of his father. So yeah, I think I have to, I don't know.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, we're just playing around. That's good. That's powerful already. It's giving you, it's triggering something, and that sounds very powerful, very powerful. As a practice for you outside of this training, try and practice seeing your son as your love symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than seeing him as your son with all that kind of, old information that you're saying and reminding you of the father, and that's the old symbol. When you look at him, you're seeing that symbol that you've created or that's been created, and that's what you're seeing. But start practicing seeing him as your actual heart symbol, your love symbol. And it might be challenging for you to do, but that's the training, that's the practice. And eventually, once you can see, and you'll see, even when you look at him now, I guarantee, if you look at him as your love symbol now, you'll see something. You'll see something you love. Go on, tell me. What do you love about him when it is your love symbol?
I love him because he's my son. Like, looking at his face, he looks so innocent. And I love him for who he is, but I don't know. It's very confusing at the moment.
Don't worry. Doesn't matter. You just practice. You've got a long bit of way to go there. So well done. Keep on practicing that. Seeing your son as your love symbol. When you look at that heart, try and connect that to your son as well. Anyway, that's another session. But that's good anyway. All right. TT, have you got a word today?
I have, yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my word today is procrastination.
Okay, So have you got like some kind of symbol you can use for that?
Yeah, so I kept on kind of dawdling, but I come up with a 7-point star.
A 7-point star.
Mm.
Oh, nice. Okay. And looking at that 7-point star, has it got a color?
No, I've just done it. in
What color
pencil.
would you give it?
Yellow.
So it's a yellow star.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, or would that be it? The yellow 7-pointed star? Anything else would go on it?
So I've just done a few little Reiki symbols around for that correlate to the chakras. So the 7 points for the 7 chakras, and the yellow is because of the solar plexus. That's what it feels like.
Nice. Okay. So just as a taster, have you got any clues in there that could tell you something about procrastination?
As in a visual.
I don't know, just anything that comes from that symbol that you're kind of using for procrastination. Is there a clue there that reveals itself? Anything you can connect to procrastination in there? You don't have to, it's just kind of exploring.
I think a little bit, it's always too much. So there's always too much. So then I don't want to do any of it. You know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Does that make a lot of sense to you? I suppose it does.
Yeah. I'm not surprised it's a 7-point star with chakras and Reiki symbols and everything else.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, but that's a great realization. Again, you might already know that, you might have been aware of that already in your life, but maybe it's a reminder. It's saying, you know what, when I have too much going on, I end up doing none of it. It's just too much. I've experienced that lots in my life. It's annoying because people like you and I, we've got a big idea, we want to do it all. We get excited about everything. It's like, I want to do that and that and that. And it's like, it's just too, I can't focus and get one thing done now. And it's quite tiring anyway, thinking of so many things. So that's great. That's great. Yeah, so that's great. And that's just a little taste. I mean, Tiffany, these sessions anyway. You've done a lot of art therapy with this, but this is just a taste, and it's given us something already. So when we've got this ability to visualize our different, words in this way, we can receive so much amazing information. So that's great. Thank you. And Nadine, what about you?
I did this journey very often, like the drawing, and I usually love it. It's just, for me, it was a bit difficult just to make it now in theory, but I came to a symbol or picture. So my word is pain, and I thought it at the moment it feels a bit like usually I'm very in the flow, and I don't remember that usually I don't have a lot of pain, but so the last few weeks I have like here something, there's something, like small things, but it's just not what I'm used to be. So it feels a bit like a river, and at the moment it feels like there's a dam and it's just all coming there, and then earlier I wrote down what I had, so what aches I had the last few weeks or so, and then I realized it's all like on the actually it's all on the chakra points. And so I thought when Tiffany said with the Reiki, maybe I should have a Reiki treatment to get the chakras balanced. I don't know if that would help, but because I had on the throat, then on my root chakra, on my solar plexus, so it's interesting that it's actually on these points. So I just realized that.
That's great. And with your image of the river, that's your image, is it? Your symbol you created with a dam. What clue can you find from there that tells you something about your pain? Maybe it's a clue to help your pain, or maybe it's a clue to say why. There could be different information in your symbol.
I don't know exactly.
Okay, well, that's really good.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
after the, I will definitely draw the symbol later, like the proper symbol, and
Yeah.
see if I get more information.
I mean, I'm going to share my quick viewpoint of your symbol you've just expressed to me. For me, of course, it might not relate to you, but what I would get from it, I got a lot of things from it because I'm used to working like this. So it's like, well, water, stream, dam. What's the dam there for? It's stopping the water. So things are pressure. There's a lot of pressure. So maybe it needs to have the dam maybe needs to be taken away, or maybe just opened up a bit so you can release some of that water. Maybe it's building up too much. It's been there too long. Maybe some resistance in your body where the pain is has been holding on too long. Maybe it was there for a purpose once before to, maybe there was too much energy going through. So you kind of put a bit of a dam there, but now it's kind of still there, the dam, and the pressure's building up, and actually some of it wants to kind of come through. So that's what I immediately see, something to release that pressure where the pain is, because the pain's kind of, tight. So it needs to kind of have some release in there. Anyway, that's a quick thing I just got from that image. So
thank you.
Something there. Okay, cool. And I can't remember, is that it? Have we just, Michael?
My symbol is the peace symbol.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and what's the word?
Peace.
Makes sense. That's what it says on the tin. Okay, so what can you get? Give me one thing, one clue. You're looking at that peace symbol. What are you taking from it to do with peace for you?
Has to do again with journey, because I remembered from early time, childhood, kindergarten, elementary school, drawing there was always a peace symbol in everything that I do, really. And so to me, it's almost a soul journey. That's what I associate with it.
Nice. So when you look at that peace symbol, that's what you're getting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, lovely. And the thing is, there's lots of other information in that symbol. And the challenge, the job is to search as much as possible. It's like reading a book, like on peace. Like imagine I've given you The Secret of Peace, How to Master Peace, written by your soul. And I give it to you. You're going to want to study that, every page. So the symbol you've drawn actually is like that book. It's got as much information in that one image. You just have to keep exploring it. It's got answers in there for you to questions. You could ask it different questions about anything. How do I earn more money? Ask the peace symbol. It will give you its viewpoint. It will have a viewpoint of its own, how to achieve anything in your life, because we can use any symbol to achieve anything, in fact. But yeah, that's great. So keep on studying it, draw it as maybe homework or something, or go on Free Play and do the journey. I'll guide you through it on there. And you can actually create a really powerful symbol yourself. It might be your own version of that peace symbol. That's great. Thanks, Michael. And Natalia?
So my symbol was also a spiral with stars in it. And my word was expression. And not really sure what to say about it. I just felt like drawing a spiral with stars in it, like an expanding universe. Well, I guess it's my drawing doesn't give it much justice. And for me, that tells me that expression is all about radiating from one point, from the center, from the heart, and that's how I feel it.
That's beautiful. Can you understand how you could actually demonstrate that in your life, make it real? What would you have to do to make that example real?
I think like whenever I don't know what to do or I'm uncertain how to express myself, I should just try to embody my own self to get to. I need to get to the center.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. So when you're not feeling, I don't know, yourself or creative or however you're feeling,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just try and find the center of that, whatever you're feeling. If you're feeling low, find the center of that low. If you're feeling happy, find the center of that happy. It's beautiful, because that's the thing. When we're feeling something like we don't like, or we don't think it's very useful, we try and find something else instead of actually going to the center of what we're feeling or experiencing in that moment. So that's expression. And the beautiful thing is, this is so powerful, because that particular energy in that moment really wants to express itself. And then we're stopping it. We say, oh, I don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel that. So it's not allowed to express itself in us. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel that whatever negative feeling, or I'm not in the mood to dance, so I don't want to feel that feeling. But in fact, if we can just go to the center of whatever we're feeling or thinking, then we're at the center of that expression. We're not on the outside of it anymore. Once we become the center, everything changes. Everything changes about that, what it is, what you thought it was. Because when you're not in the center, it looks different. You experience it different. When you're in the center of anything, it's amazing. The center of fear, the center of anger, the center of love, the center of death, the center of anything becomes amazing, because you're the center of it. So it's going to do what you want. It's not going to do nothing unless you want it to, because you're the center of it. So yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And the funny thing is about life is we're always expressing ourselves. Every single thing about us, we're expressing ourselves wherever we are. Sad, happy, normal, boring.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, the expression is this journey is more about expressing what is really mine, rather something that is a pressure from outside, or it's like to express myself and only myself, and not the things that are surrounding me and influencing me in somehow.
Okay.
Just to allow the clear expression of what is inside without any influence or pressure from the outside.
Exactly. It's coming back into your center again. That's what it's all about. And I've experienced when I think, oh, that's them, they're influencing me over there, or I don't like them, they're bothering me. When I come into the center of that experience or that feeling, I suddenly have a big realization. Suddenly they change. They all change. Everyone changes. They're not pressuring me anymore, because I've become the center of that whole thing. Mm-hmm. In fact, I mean, in Frida, we would say that's part of you anyway. You know, it's just a part of you, a part of your expression. When you meet someone who's angry, it's because there's a part of your anger you're not expressing. So it comes into your life through another person. So in Frida, we'll always say everything we experience in our world is actually coming through us somehow, from us. So once we become the center of that experience, it all changes around us. And that's quite beautiful. We don't often want to say that belongs to us, because it's like we don't like it. So we don't want to, that doesn't belong to me. But it's very powerful when we realize actually it does. And we need to come into the center. I think that the challenge is sometimes, I know for me, my experience is, I think it doesn't belong to me, because in some way, they're also expressing themselves, and that belongs to them. And it's confusing who it belongs to. Is it mine or theirs? Well, it could be both. In their universe, it belongs to them. In my universe, it belongs to me. So this can be a bit complicated sometimes. But anyway, that's another story to go into another time. So I'm just conscious of our timing now. So we're going to come a bit further down the end. And these sessions, don't forget, we've taped them, we've recorded them. So go through them again. I think, Tiffany, I'm not sure if you heard, but we're creating on the platform on our website a library where you can access everything we're talking about, these templates, the tests, the test information. The test information is really useful because it goes through stuff I haven't maybe talked about in depth on the Zoom. So again, it gives you another opportunity to look at it and look at every car journey, and also do the journeys, because that's the best way to really experience it yourself and learn through doing them yourself. So obviously you've got that on free play, so that's really cool. So where are we? So that's kind of the whole reasoning with the card, the dreaming, the inspiration, and the drawing. Very powerful. So we can use that visual symbol to, and that symbol gives us a center. Like Natalia was saying, actually by creating a symbol, we're giving ourselves what I call a stable point. It gives us a stability. So we've got it now. The more we get it, we've got it now right in front of us. Nobody can say we haven't got it. We've created it. We've got it in front of us in that symbol. And we've given it so much meaning, it becomes very clear what that symbol is. As we give it more and more meaning, it becomes more powerful to help us in our life. It's amazing. And it becomes so powerful. It becomes like the cross to a Christian, or whatever, you know, like a whatever. Anyway, these meanings, but that would be so powerful. As soon as you look at it or even just connect to it, all that information will come straight into your system, and it'd be like amazing. But finally, when we do the ritual in Frido, which is the last kind of exercise, I designed the rituals, as you all know, as a daily thing. Whereas the journey, the mind and the body exercise is something you might do occasionally. Just, you can do it a lot if you want, but you might just do it more occasional. But the rituals are designed to do every day if you want, just for a minute or 10 minutes or an hour, because they will activate your symbol without having to draw it, without having to do a lot of other work around it. It's simple. So with the ritual, it's called heart opening, and it's about, with your drawing, it's very, very simple. Put it on your heart. That's it. Some of you have done this in Frido before. So simple. Put it on your heart. Lay down. Put it on your heart for a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever you feel like. You'll start to feel it. Your heart will start to feel it. Sometimes after some time, my heart starts to have some sensations. It starts to like vibrate. It's like they're almost like talking to each other, because it's stimulating what's in my heart, because it is in my heart. I've now put it on paper, but it has got an element of energy in there. It's got vibration. It's got the same energy. And I put it back there on my heart, and it helps bring it out. It helps bring the energy from the heart out to the symbol that you're resting on your body. Starts to bring it out into the body. It's very, really powerful, and it's very relaxing anyway. It's very beautiful. It's a dream, you know, it's heart dreaming. So do it sometimes when you're lying down, like you're just dreaming, and let it do its thing. There's nothing to do with it. It's just put it on your heart, feel it if you want. You might have an urge to put your hand there, and it's like, oh, that feels really nice, quite nice, actually. I can start to feel the peace or the whatever it is. But with a more negative word, like, let's say, I won't say negative, but Tiffany's word procrastination might be termed as negative for some people. But when you've created your dream symbol of procrastination, it's no longer a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's not a nightmare. It's like this magnificent symbol of procrastination. As Tiffany created her star, it's beautiful. And that represents procrastination. And when she puts it on her heart, it's like, oh, that dream is coming out. That kind of energy with that heart. Because what will happen is, Tiffany, as you've experienced many times in your life, because I know you do a lot of things, and you do a lot of things, and you manage to do a lot of things. But what it would do is, when you embody that symbol, you'll be able to do it all the 7 things, no problem, because it's your symbol. So instead of becoming a pain in the arse and I'm actually stressed, it's actually, no, it's great. I've got it all here. Actually, it's a weird thing. It's like suddenly procrastination suddenly will somehow become your best friend. It'd be the answer to everything for you. You might even find by learning to procrastinate consciously, you'll do everything faster. And that's a weird concept. It's like, allow yourself, to procrastinate. I say, actually, I need to procrastinate right now. And if you catch it early enough, it won't get too much. You'll think, oh, I need to procrastinate now, just before it gets a bit crazy. Because that time when you procrastinate is the time when it needs to process a bit. So you do 10 minutes of bang, 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 procrastinate for 10 seconds, let it process and carry on. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic tool. So this is what we get through Frida. We start to turn everything upside down and inside out. All those old symbols that we get stuck on in our life, we turn them around. It's not about getting rid of any of them. It's about turning those MFs around and saying, right, these are all fantastic. All this stuff that's problems, it's all amazing. I just got to turn it inside out, turn it around. So that's very beautiful. So that's the ritual. Just put it on your heart. I often hang my symbols. I've got lots. So I'll make a necklace. I'll put it around my neck. I'll make it into a circle. I'll hang them on my car mirror. Really powerful. They're just reminders. I only put them up there if I want to connect to them. If I think I want to connect to that symbol today, I'll bring it out. I'll wear it on my neck. I'll stick it in the car. I'll put it in a picture frame. I might leave it out all the time, but it's like consciously, what do I want to work on today? What do I want to work on this afternoon? And it's being conscious. If your life's going smooth, you don't need to worry about it. It's all happening naturally. But it's when you actually need a bit of support and think, well, what do I need? What symbol do I need to help me right now? And it might not help you that much, but you practice with it and it becomes stronger. It's like a muscle. And then eventually you say, oh, I need that today. And when you use it, even thinking about it will suddenly change you. You'll suddenly be able to connect into it the more we practice with it, because it becomes more familiar to us. It's already inside us. So that's really beautiful. So we're going to, I'm not going to go through the learning or the affirmation or the practice, because we've been through that again and we're coming to our time. I'm trying to keep on time. So these are things we'll always go over every session. We've done the most important thing. So we'll just do the final, any kind of sharing from anybody before we say goodbye. So I don't know if anyone particularly needs to rush off, because some people don't mind, they hang around for 10 minutes, but put your hand up if you need to kind of go quicker than not quicker. Okay, so Tiff, maybe you'll start. You can stay as long as you want, Tiffany, but at least you can go when you want to.
Okay, yeah, just because I've got another meeting at 5. Because I spent most of this one in traffic, so I had it just linked up to my radio. So I was listening, but it's interesting because obviously, as you know, Gaga, I've done these things with you quite a few times, but it changes, doesn't it? Every single time it morphs into something new. And I actually think and believe that you need to go over them in all these different contexts, in all these different capacities, in order to really fully grasp and understand them. Because each time now I'm learning something new, even though this might be the 10th time or whatever I've done this, I learn something new each time. So I feel like it needs that depth, really, to be honest, in my experience. So yeah, just thank you very much. I thought it was great.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good advice as well. It's like people come for a session with hypnotherapy or Reiki or something, and they just think there's going to be a miracle, and it might be, but more often than not, it's tight. It takes more time.
Yeah.
Come for another one. We'll hit some other level, or they're all good. They're all going to do something good, but they might not hit they might not open all the doors in one session. And it's like Frida, you've got to keep on going. And the thing is about life is it never stops. There's always going to be another level to peel off, another door to open, and that's the beauty. I mean, that is the beauty of Frida as well. It's an eternal adventure of exploring. It just gets better and better.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you very much. I might wriggle out in a few minutes.
Yeah, whenever. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. Whenever you want.
See everyone soon.
See you soon. Who wants to go next? Anyone? Hands up. Anyone? Michael, fire away.
I just want to share something that that you had mentioned earlier on, and it had to do with gravity. And I was in a broadcast with a scientist, and he asked me, "Why do you think birds can fly?" And I thought, well, maybe it's the thermal energy, maybe it's the flapping of the wings, but I didn't really have an answer for him. Like there was no logic behind, or there was no knowledge behind why birds can fly. So I a few days later, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and this question stuck in my head, and I said, "Why do you think birds can fly?" And she said to me, "Because they believe they can." And so I think that is really the essence of what we're creating.
Nice. Thank you, Michael. And just on that subject of belief, and that's great. Sometimes I challenge people on the word belief. I said, if you can do it, then you can do it. I think for me, but leaving something is like, it's like, does it become before or after you can do it? If you believe it, but you can't do it, it's just a belief. But if it's after you can do it, it's also a belief, but you can do it. You know you can do it. So
Well, the birds can do it.
Yeah, they don't need to believe it, do they?
No.
They don't need to believe it. They don't need anyone to believe it.
But they have to believe it first.
Right. Yeah, fair play. Exactly. So it's a very good tool. Start believing before you do it. Often scientists don't believe before, do they? They normally have to prove it before they can believe it. Seeing is believing, but another attitude is believing to see. Believe first so you can see it. Because you get a lot of people saying that, no, I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it. And I say, well, that doesn't always work. Like an inventor will see it before they invent it. They don't invent it first and then see it and believe it. So that's actually quite a powerful technique, is to actually be able to see it and believe it first. Yeah, that works really well in this call today as well. Because you create it, see it, start believing in it. Nice. Anything else? Sorry, Michael, you wanted to add to that?
No.
Sorry for butting in. Thank you.
Grateful for all of you.
Thank you. And Nina?
For me, Gary, yeah, and today's journey was great, and there was lots of learning in it, and I think you did everything so good. Like I did understand about the ritual that you mentioned, how to do it, and I think I'm going to focus on that one, and I'm going to work a little bit more through my symbol for this week. And yeah, that's it for today, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, nice, lovely, and good luck with your little one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know how challenging that is, and it's very brave of you sharing that as well. Many parents just ignore it, and they don't kind of try and make that better. And the fact is, because you love your children so much, you don't want to feel like that. So that's really brave to actually even say that. That's amazing. And I think it's okay as well to say, you know, I think it's okay for me to say, like, oh, sometimes I hate my kids. You know, they drive me nuts. They're horrible. They're selfish. I think it's all right to say that. I don't think it's unhealthy. And I always encourage my kids to say the same back to me as they were growing up. So it's okay to say that. It doesn't mean we don't love each other. We just hate sometimes the aspects that comes out. And I think we're all human. So that's really nice. So well done for that. Very courageous. And I think you're gonna really appreciate that the work you're gonna do now with your son. And I know how challenging that is, because at the moment you see all those negative things in when you look at him, because he's that symbol that represents that for you. You've got to change that symbol. You've got to make him one of your dream symbols. And it's like, I adore that child, even with all his terrible sides to him. You know, I love him all. It's beautiful, and it's changed everything. It's a miracle, it would be. Okay, well done. Natalia.
I don't really have anything to say apart from thank you for today and for lovely company and insights from you, Gary. Don't really know what else to say.
You don't have to say anything. If you might have a question, you might or not want to say anything. I'm just giving you an opportunity if you need to.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to say thank you to everyone and to you, Gary, for today.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. And there's a lot to take on board and there's a lot to learn. That's why I'm sending you a lot of stuff and resources on Freedo, because this session isn't enough really to grasp it all. This is just touching it. Okay, so Magic?
Yeah, I don't have much to say actually. I have lots of thoughts, but what can I say? That this was, I think, the best session so far, I think, because it leaves me speechless, but probably on the next session I will have more questions. Just I understood how important is to be to hold this image of inspiration, being inspired, which gives me the deeper understanding, and that I need to go actually much deeper than I thought.
That's great. What was your word?
Abundance.
Abundance, yeah. So make that image of abundance so clear and meaningful for you that it will inspire you when you look at it. It will be so inspirational. That's what you want to do. Do the beautiful symbol, give it a lot of meaning, work with it, on your heart, study it every day, look for information and clues from it every day. If you need some guidance, ask a question to it and see what it tells you by looking at it. And the more you do that, the more that symbol abundance will inspire you. And also you'll be able to use the abundance. You'll be able to master it. So that's the other thing. By doing this exercise, of course, we're learning about our words. We're not just improving our ability of inspiration, which it is, that's a key ability. We're always becoming more of a master of that word that we're working with. So more of a master of abundance, and you'll be able to start to apply it more in your life. And sometimes it would just happen because it's so magic, it'll just start happening as well. So, but you might experience the negative sometimes of it, because there's negative of abundance, isn't there? It's like you don't want abundant evilness given to you, or abundant, poison. So actually, it's always got the two sides. But once you understand all of it more and more, you become, like Natalia said before, the center of it. So you pick and choose how you want to use it. You might give abundant something horrible to someone you hate. I don't know. Or if someone's being mean to your child at school, you might give them an abundant lesson that they need to learn. Like not just once, but it keeps on going back at them. So you can start to use all those negatives and positives of the word in ways that are optimal. So that's really powerful. So I always bring that up because we're stuck on the positive and the negative often. So we want to be able to look at both of them always as much negative and positive, because they're both as powerful and they can both be used to serve us. So that's really important. Big lesson to learn for us humans, this whole polarity thing. That's good and that's bad. We don't want that. We only want this. So we need to kind of get out of that. With Freedo, we'll break that barrier. And we'll say, you know what? Everything's good and bad. And everything's good and bad. And I can use both to serve me. Because that's what they want to express. They both want to express themselves in our universe. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel that this image of abundance is really connected to freedom, actually, to have the freedom of choice. This is like works together with me somehow.
Yeah. So the next time your little girl wants something, say you can have as much as you want. You can have an abundant amount. Go for it. Go get it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And thank you, Magic. And Nadine?
Thank you.
I actually also don't have a lot to say, except thank you to you and the group. And only funny thing, because I was thinking about my symbol I can draw later, and then I was thinking about my water thing and the colors from the chakras, and then I was thinking it would be also a bit like a spiral or whatever, and then I actually ended up it almost looked then like the back side of the Frito card, or the and I thought, wow, that's actually like, it looks like very balanced. All the chakras are like aligned and in flow. So that's the only thing.
That's nice. That's nice. We'll talk later about that. I've got a few more insights about your symbol, which should be really
Yeah.
useful. I'll mention it. It's like people put dams in rivers, sometimes to stop them, or sometimes to change their direction. So it can,
that's
yeah.
good.
So it can be actually maybe have a think about that. Maybe you can so sometimes by putting resistance in certain places of the body, it can change the direction of the energy. It can either stop it or direct it somewhere else. So it you might not want to release it to go through this way, but you might want to kind of direct it in another direction somewhere. I don't know. Something to think about anyway. You'll get lots of info from that when you study it.
Thanks.
That's really great. So well done. So we've come to the end of the third official trainings card. We finished the family. We finished the first family of Frido, the red family, the body family. So next family, we're going to go on to the emotion family. And I call the whole emotion the family that we've just worked with, I call body intelligence, in fact, because we're developing our body intelligence in those last 3 journeys. On the next 3 journeys is the emotion, and I call that time travel. And I'll tell you why when we start it next week, but it's really becoming the Time Lord by understanding this emotion family, because emotion expands time. There's no real time, in fact, in emotion time. There's no time. It lives in the past, the present, and the future right now. And this is an amazing 3 journeys, because we're going to be able to travel back through time with our emotions, because it already exists right now. We're going to have a key to experience our past, and we can relive it, and we can also experience our future through the same process, and we can experience what's happening there right now. We're not there physically, but it's all there emotionally already, and our emotions are very influential. They shape everything. They shape the physical, as some of us know. So our emotions already there in the future are shaping our physical reality right now as we speak, and our emotions in the past are also shaping. They've shaped our reality, and they're keeping that shape there until we go and change it from that place, and we go and change it in the future. Very, very powerful. So this is all about the emotional power, these next 3 journeys, emotion family, past, present, future. I really enjoyed this one. We can heal many, many things, and we can create many things through this. This is one of the most powerful manifesting family of all. So we'll talk about that anyway more next week. So I'll stay on for another 10 minutes if anybody wants to just hang out, if they've got questions. But otherwise, you can slowly, if you want to go, you can do the wave. Do the wave, and we'll give you the love shower. So I'll just stick around for 5 minutes in case anyone's got anything, any questions or anything. Magic, see ya.
Yep.
No, I have a question actually.
Oh, we're waving him off.
So, but about something different, not about this session particularly. I wanted to I was trying to order those cards from your webpage, and there was this link, I mean, place where you can choose the country, and Thailand was not listed.
Oh,
So
that's strange. Okay. I'll check. I'll
Yeah.
get my PA to make a note of that and get that dealt with immediately. Otherwise, the other choice is, well, don't worry, we'll contact you and we'll do it separately, and we'll send
Okay.
you. So
okay,
if anything, if you haven't heard by tomorrow something, then just let me know and we'll organise that. Yeah, they're good to have the
Okay.
cards. They're really good to have the cards, obviously, if you're going to be
Yes,
working with them, especially if you want to be well, not just working with them on yourself, but even playing with other people. And then eventually, if you wanted to obviously charge money, then obviously you can play with other people and they'll pay you for playing.
Yeah.
That's always the best.
yes.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Thanks for that
Okay,
information.
so
Thanks for
thank
sharing.
you, and I will say now goodbye to everyone. See you next week.
Can you say it in
and have a
Polish?
good day. To cześć Natalia.
Tesh,
Do
night.
zobaczenia w przyszłym tygodniu.
Schlaf gut.
Gute Nacht, Nadine.
Good night.
Jak się masz? Hi, Adriana. Ariana.
To tej pani, to pani.
Stay up as long as you want tonight.
And make as much slime as you want.
Yeah, and while Dad's in the abundant flow, I would ask him for everything you want right now.
Do you make your own slime?
Oh yeah, tomorrow is Friday.
Okay, good night, guys.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Give me my money already. Come on.
Give her the money.
Yeah,
See
that's
ya.
already.
Every Friday I get money.
Oh, I wish I did.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Next week.
Bye, Michael. We'll give him a little shower of love, shower of peace.
Hi.
I think I will go next.
You
Nina,
want-
I
yeah.
heard you wanted to come to the retreat. But I think it's like with all the tests and vaccination stuff. I don't know.
I know. I think it's not easy to travel at the moment. Like, I think it's okay to come to UK, but to come back here is kind of a bit of a, I checked with one of my friends who was going to go to UK now because his son is there. So I
Yeah.
asked him as well yesterday, and he said to me, like, going is not a problem. Coming back to Ireland is like they keep changing the rules.
Yeah.
So they kind of like, they are not forcing, but in other ways, they are kind of like making people do the vaccine, So like, I really don't know, like, in a way what to do, because like, in a way, like they are saying, like, if we have to do the PCR test or something, which I think I want to check again on this, but it's just about the kids again, because the dad doesn't take them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have anybody here to look after them, and I don't really have any babysitter, but I do want to come, so I don't know what to do. And
You,
maybe if I talk
you
to
never know.
family- Yes.
Yeah, I actually thought when you come to the UK, you have to isolate, or is that not anymore?
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. I think because of
Yeah.
the COVID, lots of things is changing, and the rules keep changing all the time as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So maybe
Mm.
if I don't this time, there's many more to come anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Or
Yeah.
you just come to us to visit us
Yes,
without a retreat.
Exactly. And maybe without the retreat, I can bring the kids as well.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Stay on the boat for a day or two.
Where are you
Nice.
located, Nina?
Sorry, Michael.
Where do you live? Where's home for you?
Ireland, Dublin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So because of COVID, I don't know what they are doing, like with the vaccine and all, like just hard. Well, we'll see.
Nina's got an interesting accent, Michael.
Am I?
Yeah, because your accent is like where you from? I've forgotten where you're born. Mauritius.
Mauritius.
What? Mauritius?
Mauritius.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
right. So Mauritius and Ireland. So it's kind of an interesting accent Nina's developed.
Yes, I think so because like I've been in Ireland for 13 years now. So and then like speaking English, and then we try to learn the Irish as well, the English, and then Creole, and then French. So it's all kind of mixing together, and it's just having a different accent here.
Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely accent. Okay, thanks, Nina. Anyway, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you all again next week. And hopefully everything will be. We will get lots of positivity through what we did today, because we'll be sharing next week.
For sure.
And I would love to come over and say like me and my son, not my son, he like I'm getting on well with him. It's just me, my feelings towards him. So hopefully next week there'll be some good news from me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Thank
See you
you.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lots of love.
Bye.
And yeah, okay. And then there were 4.
And then there were 4.
And then one rolled over. Who's falling out?
I'm falling out next.
Me too, because I need to go to the loo now.
Yeah. So you don't have to stay around. Just being courteous in case anybody wants to say anything.
Yeah.
So Nadine,
Okay.
nice to
See you
see
next-
you. Yeah.
Nice to see you. See you soon.
See you soon.
Okay.
Is it next Wednesday?
I forget what day we're on. The reason I changed it from
Yes.
Wednesdays because Nina she asked me if I could request everyone because she's got things with her kids on the Wednesday at that time, so that's why we shifted it to Thursday.
And is it always on Thursday now, or is it just this week?
No, I think it's okay unless somebody has a problem, and that's when I normally would go on the group and say, can we see if we can get a unanimous time?
Okay,
So-
so but it's next Wednesday or next Thursday?
No, we'll stick to Thursday because I'm trying to, Thursday,
Okay,
because no one's complained to me about Thursday yet. So
All right.
we'll stick to Thursday and I'll put it on the group.
all right.
Right, guys,
Lovely.
I'm gonna shut off. Thanks,
Right.
thank you again.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too,
Do you
Gary.
all live on a boat? Are you on the same river?
Oh, kinda, yes. I'm a bit further, but the same, yeah.
Awesome.
Not too far. She's sometimes in the same area and sometimes a little bit further, but not very far really.
Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes we are neighbors.
Yeah,
Gary. Yeah.
we are.
Power
All right,
of coding.
Natalia, thanks a lot. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too, and
All
I'll
right.
catch with you soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Lots of
Uh-huh.
love.
Love. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
I'm out of here too, Gary.
Yeah, and then there was one, as usual. There's just me left. Sorry, I'll talk to myself.
You can do that. Still working on the site.
Cool, exciting.
Hopefully, maybe by the weekend, maybe by next week. I want to be open to whatever comes through.
Yeah, nice.
And
you spoke to Ankush?
I'll give you something to look at pretty soon.
You spoke to Ankush?
Sorry?
You spoke to Ankush?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that good? Positive?
Well, the site is not ready for me to share it with him, but what I would like him to do is clean it up so that it's friendly on different screens.
Okay.
And I have a few gaps in there where the page background is showing through, and maybe he can just clean it up. And I spoke to him, so it's all
Cool.
good. Thank you
Cool.
for that.
Pleasure.
All
Okay,
right.
have a good one. Enjoy.
You too.
Be peaceful.
Yeah.
Go with peace.
Yeah, and behave yourself.
That's never going to happen.
Talk soon.
Oh, Michael, take care.
Ciao.